It is right now, if you look at the news media, the mainstream media, and then, I don't know, the Daily Wire, or maybe Fox News, or a couple newspapers, CRTV, just a handful of new media right-wingers. It is true, they present different stories. That is media bias. What Brian Stelter would prefer is if we only had one perspective that was being put out there. What he wants is to return to the good old days when it was only the left that controlled the news media. It's like two different, it's as though different Americans have different perspectives. Yes, of course. What creates those two different worlds in the news media is the selection of stories. And this is, by the way, where most of the bias is in the media. The trouble with the New York Times, even with CNN, frankly, is not so much the caliber of the reporting. The Times still has pretty good reporters. Even the Washington Post sort of has good reporters. That isn't the issue. The issue is which stories are being run and which stories are not being run. When Cheryl Atkinson, one of the last journalists in America, when she left CBS, it wasn't because they were yelling at her over something she wrote. It wasn't because of anything like that. It was that the stories were being killed. They were being squashed. They wanted to talk about only stories that were favorable to the left, no stories that rightly criticize the left or that were favorable to the right. This is what a worldview is. And Brian Stelter's right. To people like him, to people on CNN, to people at the New York Times, this scary, scary sun monster, as Drew calls it, global warming, global cooling, whatever, the hypothetical negative effects of climate change, none of which we are experiencing right now, none of which have been credibly and reliably proven to be happening in any short period of time, none of which have been proven, have been demonstrated to be caused by human beings and human efforts. They are so much more concerned and worried about that religion of environmentalism, that religion of global warming, than they are about illegal alien criminals killing Americans.